staccato.
The thin pick lends itself to doing that. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Because they break easily, so you have to...
That's good for show business.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh, that looks impressive.
Life, it's all about death. It's all about pain. It's all about destruction and the things you do in vain.
Live from the Last Door in the Left Studios in sunny Venice, California, it's the Alex Duffy Show, starring Alex Duffy, with this week's special guest, Steve Gelder. And now, a man who needs no more vanilla Coke to be high, Alex Duffy!
It's all about you, it's all about me. We're all that we have and all we foresee. So give it your best shot, it's all that you got. Might not be a lot, but that's all there is to life. Wow. Yeah! That's happening when you practice.
That was crisp.
Yeah, I know.
Fresh depression. I like that.
Yeah. Well, this was I was at a rehearsal studio last night, and after 3 hours of doing that with your fingers, your hands are like in that chord forever, you know? It makes your hands strong.
Pete Townsend can only play an A. That's all he can do now. It's just,
Really?
It's all, no, I'm all right. No.
Okay. I mean, because I heard other news about him, and I was like, I'm wondering about this.
Oh, yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going on.
He's got things going on. Well, folks, it is... what is the date today? July 8th, yes. 2003, I'm sorry. I have to go back in the gym, and I don't really... I've only just recently started working out. July 8th, 2003, I am Alex Duffy, and Steve Lyon is...
The show.
And we have a wonderful guest tonight, a talented man. But before we introduce him, I do want to remark on the $25 million reward for Saddam Hussein.
Ah, yes.
Yes. I think I could probably find quite a number of people in LA who look like him.
Oh, sure.
And then I could just, turn him in, you
He's
know?
probably hanging out with Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah.
You realize if you found an actor in L.A. who looked like Saddam,
Right.
told him it was a role, and that you were going to pay him $1,000 for a week,
Yeah.
you could send him over there in a heartbeat.
That's true.
He'd be right there. He'd be the happiest actor for till the assassination or the firing squad,
But
whichever
maybe that's
comes
his
first.
cue of all the lookalikes going, no, I am Saddam, you know, I want a piece of the action. You know?
Yeah, they actually, I flipped on AOL today, and they've got a picture of someone he looks like a much younger Saddam in a velveteen robe, sort of sitting back in a big chair, everything's cool, everything's fine.
By the way, we once
Having a
introduced...
smoking jacket kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just this it's like, oh, things are cool, war is over, I'm having a good time now. It's all good.
We must introduce you. You're the one, the only writer, comedian, comedian, Steve Gelder.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm the only one. I'm the only writer comedian in all of LA at this point. That's right.
Yes,
None of the rest of you do both.
yes.
I've got the one and the two.
And you have a website which you must plug.
Yes, it's stevegelder.com.
That's easy to
And
remember.
exactly, but everybody misspells Gelder. I've noticed that. I have no
How
idea
do they
why.
spell it?
I have gotten mail to I've gotten Golder, Gleeder, Glibbener. I've had a woman introduce me as Steve Gopher.
What about gelding?
Gelding, yes. I grew up in a farming state, so I've heard gelding. My name is actually an ancient Indian name, Gelder. Loosely translated, it means he who makes the stallions cry. So, right now there's one farmer in Iowa rolling on the floor of his computer room. I did great.
I got it, though. And usually I don't get it for 10 minutes. And then later on the show, I'm like, oh,
goes off, and then...
This is just like light bulb starts to flicker. And then, it's like, oh, yeah. It's like I go like that. I don't know. What was the farming state you grew up in?
I grew up in North Dakota.
Oh,
wow.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. That's actually our state slogan. Welcome to North Dakota. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So you grew up in Minnesota.
Oh, no kidding. I lived in the cities then for a while, too.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Cool. Where'd you live in the city?
Well, not too far off East Lake Street,
cool.
37th and Grand.
Solid.
Yeah, it's so sad that you can actually do that in a whole different...
Well, what parts of North Dakota?
I grew up in the northeast corner. It's a very small town named Cavalier. Not very small. I love you people. And but it's a very it's teeny tiny. It's
right.
It's a village that's trying to grow into a hamlet. Good luck to them. But
The winter's cold. I've heard they are.
You know, we just put that out there. Really? It's balmy.
It just keeps all the tourists away.
Oh, yeah. You don't want them sharing in that 90 below weather with you.
No.
Yeah, it is very chilly. We actually had extremes. I mean, summertime we had one year like 120 above, and then in the winter it was like 90 below.
Wow.
Literally. And I mean, that was, it's like 200 and something. You're baking. You're baking. That's what's going on there.
A lot of indoor activities.
Yeah, predominantly in the wintertime.
Nobody really goes outside and sits on the porch.
No, but for those 2 days of summer, man, the lake is packed. Oh, cannot. But a nice thing about the winters, you can drive on the lakes.
Yeah.
Which is an activity that many people who've never been in a very cold state just look quizzically at you.
Do they do streets and stuff on the lakes up there too?
Do streets? What do you mean?
They like plow actual streets in the snow on the lake?
No, actually, just I guess the way our lake was situated was it kept pretty clear, so guys could just go down there, put like their fishing houses. And then, of course, the kids on the weekend, we'd put in, like, Dark Side of the Moon on 8-track. And cruise on the lake doing, 60 miles an hour, throw it in neutral, hit the emergency brake, and just spin and spin and spin until you hit a nice house. And then the fun's over. Frozen fish everywhere.
But you're moving to L.A.
Yes, that's right.
Why in God's name?
This is where it is, baby. This is where it's happening.
You mean it's not in North Dakota?
I really tried to get the folks at MTV to come take a look at Cavalier. I was like, listen to me, man. It's real world like you've never seen.
Cavalier rocks.
That's our slogan. North Dakota's slogan is, I'm sorry to hear it. Cavaliers is, we rock. But, so it's basically, I lived in New York for a little while, tried to sort of get established up there. But Los Angeles, much more family-friendly towards my wife and I. And,
the thing about New York is it still wishes it was the center of the art world and of the everything world. Mm-hmm. It all moved to L.A. This is the center of the art world.
Right now there's a convoy coming from New York. There are people up there, teach that guy to talk like that. We got out plenty.
So some guys are coming over.
Yeah, exactly. Big, nasty. They all have Italian names because we stereotype.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I tried the New York thing, and then L.A. just seems like we'd like to come out this way and give it a shot out here.
You have kids too, or
what's that? I have a stepdaughter who just graduated high school, so we actually sort of have the freedom to go ahead and move around, do a little bit. So.
Oh, by the way, plug. Vanilla Coke.
Yes, vanilla
It's refreshing. Refreshing.
That's right.
Yes.
This is good. This is the first time I've tried one of these.
I think it's only 150 calories, only 42 grams of sugar per can.
Holy
shit!
Do you know what this tastes like?
Yeah.
You realize what this is like. This is just like Coke with vanilla flavoring in it.
I know.
It's amazing.
It's actually I think it's kind of like water with caramel and sugar.
No.
And carbonation. Yeah.
I'd like to put a tooth in here and see what happens to it. Remember that test, that little science?
Yeah.
I always wondered where they got the teeth from. I mean, where are these kids just constantly getting popped in the mouth? Like, well, may as well drop it in the Coke.
I heard that somebody actually tried that, like one of these consumer testing groups. And they actually left it in a tooth in there. Came back a week later, the tooth was just like clean. Like they just pulled out. It was like it dissolved all the stuff that was on the tooth.
Oh, good.
But the tooth was clean. It's like, hey.
That either means the person who had these such horrible dental habits that they'd left stuff on there that nothing else could remove.
Yeah.
I'll find Coke burned through that, but it left the tooth alone.
Okay, what do you find funny about this administration? Where can you start?
What do I find funny? What do I find funny about this administration? That they got in.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah.
I'd like my dad to put a bunch of people on a panel, and eventually I'd like that panel to decide the election. I don't know. It's just...
Are they going to win again in 2004?
It looks horribly like it might happen because he's a popular guy. The economy started picking back up again. I mean, stock market's like popping up a few points every day.
That war chest, that $200 million.
I love how we brag about that. How the news just goes like, Bush raised $30 million in a night. None of the Democrats have that. Isn't that a bad thing? Shouldn't it be based upon like everybody sort of has an equal ground? Everybody gets like the same.
Oh,
no.
That would be nice.
I think we're
that
moving.
would make sense, and we can't have that.
There'll be no sense here. That's right. We're too interested in the dollar.
Isn't it great that you moved to California just before it's going to go bankrupt? Right? I mean,
good timing.
The only reason I've done this, I want to be the wealthiest man in some state. And I just figure if I come out here with $10 in my pocket, bam, I can buy the government.
At least it's on that bond, those are all going to default. So that's good.
See, I haven't kept up with the bond issue.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing is, like, if you have pension funds, if you have money in banks here,
right?
They have tied up a lot of their money in California as bonds.
Now, California's bond rating has taken a
which is terrible anyway. But
Shazam.
it will all become junk bonds if we actually don't pass a budget by about mid-August. So that's actually. That's pretty good, huh?
Wow, so mid-August, I become the wealthiest man in the state.
You'll have federal money at least in your hand.
By the way, I love how Steve did the "is" thing in the middle of the word, because he said, you hang with Snoop Dogg. That's right.
Yes.
He's the man.
What's your impression of all that? I mean, do you just like it?
I do. I don't know what it is about Los Angeles. I just instinctively, when I get to town, there's just something that makes me take off all my clothes and run naked through the airport. I think it's actually called security. I think that's probably what that was. They were no weapons. But, no, it's just there's a great. I hate to use like words like vibe because I don't live here yet, but
right.
Such an aura. There's such a good feeling to it. There's a very relaxed kind of deal, and. I think I could probably sum it up like between like New York and L.A.
Right.
Like I was in New York and a guy came onto one of the trains, one of the subways there, and the doors close, everybody's trapped on the train with him, and he just goes, "Please, I'm starving, I need money, somebody give me money for food," and we all ignored him.
Yeah.
That's New York in a nutshell. Los Angeles, I come out here, the first guy I see begging or panhandling anywhere, and there's not a lot of them actually asking for money, but the guy goes, "Please give me a quarter. Only the power of my mind is keeping the state from sliding into the ocean."
Well.
I gave him a buck.
Sold!
I'm like, dude, cover me for the week. That is so good. That's the way to panhandle, okay? I don't need to help the guy who's hungry. He can figure that out. There's plenty of pigeons. This guy's keeping my state afloat.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets a buck.
Besides, the guy that's hungry, you think about it, everybody in LA most people in LA are overweight unless they're actors, and they're all like super thin, right?
Right.
And don't we all want to kind of be those actors and be those
The
people
writers
who
and
are
the
famous?
producers are all the overweight ones.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
So this guy's actually got it going on. If he's not eating, hey, he's not paying all this money for some programmer.
Amazingly enough, not eating, but still not in the best shape in the world. Somehow not maintaining the crunch schedule. Not doing the routine like he should.
Yeah,
But-
it's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just true. Some of the fattest people you'll ever see are some of the poorest.
An odd thing about Los Angeles is that even though all the health conscious and everything that you sort of think of the image of the town and everything like that, really a lot of people who are not in the best of shape. And just a little side note to the ladies, if you're thinking about the belly shirt this year, the scintillating, female flesh from belt top to... Please be sure you have the figure for it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm tired of driving down the street and thinking to myself, man, I'd like some Hungry Jack biscuits. You shouldn't look at it.
Man, images running through your head.
You shouldn't look at a human being and think to yourself, if I push a spoon against her side, she's going to pop. It's just not a good. But a lot of folks who are kind of just out of shape. And then it's like the 5% of town who are actually in the industry that make everybody else in the world feel badly about their stomachs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Horrible how that works.
How do they do it?
Right.
Now, you're doing stand-up comedy in L.A. at this point, or not yet?
I'm doing some here and there. I've done like the Laugh Factory, trying to audition, go through the process to become a regular there. This Sunday night, I'll be going down to San Diego, trying to go into the comic strip, or comedy store, excuse me. As comic strip is New York. It's so easily to get. But, so heading down there. So trying to establish at a couple of different clubs, hopefully get in some places regular so I can have some stage time. And I guess the plan would be try to pick up management and rich and famous. There you go.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
I've got a solid two-step plan. Find a manager, rich and famous. That's just,
There it is.
I like the three-step plan that was on South Park.
What's the third step?
Yeah.
I'm missing one.
What's step 2? Remember, step 1, gather socks. Step 3, profit. That was what it was, yeah.
So I need more socks.
And then there was this article, like this big breakdown of what it really meant. I read it somewhere, I forgot where it was. It was like, this is an allegory of the .com, a metaphor of what happened with the .com industry. They would build something, then they make a profit. But what was the step in between? And I was like, God, talk about overanalyzing.
Oh, wow. Wow. It's South Park. Kenny's dead. Cartman's talking about his wiener. It's all cheesy
read
poops.
that much into it.
Yeah, exactly. Although they do put a lot of political content, a lot of interesting stuff sort of in the... the whole movie was basically about, censorship and how ridiculous censorship is.
Yeah. I wish I just...
They've been showing the movie on Comedy Central.
Uncensored?
Unedited.
I mean, all of it, like the scenes with Saddam and Satan and
all of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Welcome.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Well, I guess Comedy Central got purchased not long ago by another corporation, didn't
they
they?
were Viacom, but I could be wrong there? I don't know.
I thought someone else took them over.
They were owned by Time Warner.
Oh, they were? Okay.
But they've been owned by Time Warner for a while.
Could have sworn somebody else took them over, but
You never know.
Yeah, I can't keep up with all the scuttlebutt. I have to get. That's why I'm coming to L.A. I want to be close to the scuttlebutt. I want to be in the butt of the scuttle. That's what I'm talking about.
You want to be in the center.
The crack of the
Yes,
scuttle?
yes, the starfish of the scuttle, as it were.
Yum.
Hey, welcome to Steve Uncensored.
What kind of stuff are you doing in your? What kind of material are you doing?
I'm pretty actually family friendly. I don't swear a lot in real life, so I don't really do a lot on stage. But I talk about my family, my life.
Let's hear a bit if you want to. If you want to.
I basically talk about how a lot of guys come out and it's they complain about their wife or their husband if it's a woman or their spouse, whatever. It's a little tip for everybody on the internet: marry someone you like.
Hey!
There you go. And keep having the sex.
What a
That's very
novel
important.
Yeah,
oh, man, people start going out so they can have sex. And ladies, if you're watching on a first date, wake up. And this man loves buying me drinks. But, and then you start having sex. You enjoy that. You keep having sex with the person. Eventually you get to the point where you think to yourself, man, we should have sex all the time. So you get married. And that's where the system breaks down. Apparently, that's step 2 right there. We got the sex. We got the profit. We need step. So
why does it break down? Why does it break down? What is I heard that the worst food, the most unhealthiest food that a man can ever eat is a wedding cake?
I'll tell you why it breaks down. Honestly, people get lazy.
Yep.
You're on your best behavior when you're going out with someone, and you give them that impression that, man, I'm a great person. I'm always going to be there for you, and I'm always going to be smiling just like this when you do that adorable little thing. And that adorable little thing turns into that thing that you just want to smash them over the head with a shovel with.
Yeah.
I love you, honey. And it's just it's one of those things. People, I think, really do slack off. Get to the point where you just, so many comedians will talk about like shoving their wife's head under the covers and, letting one go or something like that. It's like, maybe that's where the romance is lost. Maybe that's where you're falling down on the job.
Women don't like that?
Well, no, the screaming and the writhing and the "I'll kill you, you bastard!" That should be a giveaway.
Damn.
I think that should be a part of it.
I never knew.
Well, last night I got home after a long day.
I don't want to hear about this.
No, don't worry.
It is the Alex Duffy show. He gets to talk about it.
There's no sordid thing.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
You worry me when you start out with things like that.
I worked, and I went to this rehearsal studio and was playing guitar. Then I went and worked out at the gym.
And picked up a filthy magazine.
Exactly.
Back to the place.
It was like 10 o'clock, and I got home, right? And I was like, man, I want to just go to sleep. My wife's here. She goes, I have this great news for you. And I go, what is it? She goes, I bought some pens. I'm like, that's great. And she goes, no, we're going to change all your old pens for new pens because these old pens are old and they're attracting negative energy to this house.
No.
And I was like, not at 10 o'clock at night.
What does that say about the stuff you've written in the past? Apparently she's not a big fan of what you've been sketching down. Oh, there's negative energy in these pens. Look at that joke.
And it's like, I thought to myself, that's something that I wouldn't do.
Yeah, right.
You think?
Yeah.
But it's the finding a way to find it endearing.
Yeah,
That's what makes the marriage last and work. I think. How long have you been married?
Oh, just for almost 4 months now.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah,
that's great.
How long was it?
9 years.
Oh,
just past 9 years. Yeah, for comedians, that's a record.
Oh yeah. They always ask comedians, "Are you married or happy?" You seem to have both.
Fortunately, do. Yeah.
Usually the two don't go together. For some reason, especially in California, the divorce rate is 50%.
I hate to tell you this, but it's kind of like that everywhere.
Were you doing comedy before you got married?
Yes, and I think that's a huge difference. Yeah. There's so many guys who'll be doing whatever the job is, making like $100,000 a year, and everything's cool, and then they get married, and their wife is happy, and everything's cool. And then suddenly they go, I've got to do this. I have to be a comedian. And their wife is going to, okay, so you're going from $100,000 a year to spending $5,000 a year just to be on the road. This is not. I didn't count on that. Work. Yeah, so what's your pension going to be like, baby? Well, if I have some really good jokes.
How's your writing process like? Do you just, when you think of stuff, you just write it down, or what do you do?
Yeah, essentially, it's just stuff comes to mind, and if it seems funny to me, I try to sketch something down or write something down really quickly. I also do like a weekly newspaper column. I'm syndicated in like 6 states or something like that now.
And we can read about that at
www.stevegelder.com.
Yes.
Steve Gelder, all E's.
Yes, you're a syndicated writer, and that's something we should actually talk about. Now, when did you get started on writing? When did you actually start doing this?
That was about 2 years ago. My hometown newspaper actually actually contacted me. They were losing a columnist, and I know the editor. I used to send them like press releases, different stuff. And he was like, "Hey, you're a good writer. If you want to, give it a try, we'd love to have you as a columnist.
Right.
We'll pay you a
cool.
chicken a week." So a chicken a week? How could I? Yeah. So I actually started like 2 years ago, but almost exactly 2 years ago, because it was like the July 4th issue.
Wow.
And
what do you write about? Tell the folks out there what you write about.
anything. The column's called Free Association, so I will just kind of go on whatever's on my mind. Sometimes it's been serious, mostly humorous, or a little humor thrown into different stuff. But
Example, like something that you wrote about.
this week's column was the reality of what if. Because I ran into this girl I hadn't seen in years, and during the course of catching up with her, she tells me I'm her what if guy. Like,
Really?
yeah, like, what if I hadn't married this guy and done this and all this? What if I'd gone out with Steve instead?
Oh.
And that's a great, it's a great thing, but so many people live in what if, you don't get anything done.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It's like rather than sitting around going, what if I won the lottery, I could buy all this stuff? Hey, what if you went out and got a job?
Yeah.
What if you tried that so you could buy this stuff? Or, she's like, you were my what if guy. Well, what if you got together with me and I was just completely wrong from what you wanted?
Right,
Yeah,
right,
there's no
right.
saying. Of course, she had married a guy who cheated on her and got a girl pregnant. So, yeah, I could have beat that. but I mean, there are definite,
What was it like? If you think, looking back on your column, what was like one column that probably generated the most press?
Oh, I actually did one not long ago that got a couple of letters from readers. The Daddy Boat.
So the daddy.
Which is, it's sort of based on the movie Titanic, where the guy is putting his little girl on the lifeboat at the
Right,
end.
right.
The ship sinks. I hope I'm not ruining anything. And so he's putting his girl on and she's crying, I want daddy. And he goes, it's okay. I'm getting on the daddy boat on the other side. There's no daddy boat. There's never been a daddy boat. They've never designed one. Nobody's going to plan one. They'll never use it. Daddy's going down with the ship. That's what's going on there.
The big one. That's the daddy.
But why would somebody write about that? What would they write in? They say how horrible and cynical. What do they write
No.
in?
Actually, because I sort of said, dads do all these jobs. Dad's the one who parks the car in the rain while mom and the kids get dropped off at the door of the mall. Dad's the one who does, reaches into the pipes to get out the important thing, to go through the grunge and the sludge and the this and that. Dad's the one who does all these things, but doesn't get any credit or reward for it.
Right.
And basically, this woman wrote in and said, I agree 100%. Dads are great. I had a great dad. They don't get, credit or, they're just due. They're just desserts is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
They'll teach you, Father.
Well, I guess that's true. I guess you can say that families are like the stable rock that the world rests on. Because basically, once you get married and have kids, that's basically it. Your wild days are over. Because, that's it. I mean, really,
Right.
you just can't be the young man you once were.
There's a magazine called Adult Connection you might want to pick up, because apparently some of these folks think you can still live the wild life.
Well, you can if you're like really super rich and you had, I don't know, nannies and things like that.
Sure.
Take care of you. For Mick Jagger, you can be married 3 times and have 7 kids.
Right.
It doesn't really matter.
Has he got 7 kids?
7 kids.
He's a grandfather, too. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Pretty
That's
active guy.
bad.
He's turning 60 on July 26th.
That's just insane. Once you're a grandfather, they should boot your ass into rock and roll.
Yes, they
that should really be. I mean, just to see how wrong that is, close your eyes just for a second. Visualize your grandfather
Yeah.
lifting his skinny butt up on the lazy boy recliner, slipping on a pink sequin jumpsuit with a big blue star on the crotch.
Actually, that's true. Yeah.
Dancing into the kitchen, singing "Start Me Up to Grandma." Just
I saw him on Saturday Night Live. I guess when he was promoting his solo album, which didn't do so well.
right, never does.
And he was doing all the dance moves that he did when he was in his 20s, and it was exactly what you're saying. I'm watching this and I'm going, I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, right. It's a little
is not
odd.
good.
The part that really, it's the groupies who are still just willing to like throw stuff at him.
Oh,
and,
here's a great story. When he did the video, he wanted to do a video which had like a live component, like he was in, it was obviously lip syncing, but he was doing
Right.
like one of his from his solo album, just like about 2 years ago. And they said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to get people in the audience that we're going to have tickets on KLOS, right? So people won these tickets to go see Mick. But when they showed up, they were all like middle-aged. Nick didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
So they had to cancel those people and hire all these extras
Oh,
in their
man.
20s, and then have those people come back later and put them in the back. And they had all these beautiful 20-somethings, mostly women, in the front, going, Nick, like
Now you know who he is.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to scream? Rick? I'll scream Rick. Here's a great ticket story, I think, for like old rock and roll. I was in Raleigh picking up like a used CD at a record store, and I'm paying for the CD, $3-4. And as I get my change, the guy goes, "And here's your free Ted Nugent ticket." And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "It's a promotion. He's doing the show tonight. You know, we've got free tickets for Ted Nugent for everyone who buys the CD." Exactly. And I'm like, "Oh, if that's how you go." "No, please take it." I'm like, "Oh man!" So I got it, and I called a buddy of mine, and we picked it up, and it's just awful. Ted is so Republican.
Really?
Oh
No.
man,
Yeah.
that guy's insane. He's got a song about being Republican.
Yeah.
He's got a song called "Kiss My Ass" that is basically like Janet Reno, "Kiss My Ass," and all these people, and then it's Sarah Brady, "Kiss My Ass." Sarah Brady, the wife of Brady, who got the Brady Bill, who got shot.
Yeah.
Why does she have to kiss anybody? Her husband got shot in the head.
She shouldn't have to
Why
kiss
is she
anybody.
kissing ass? I don't get that.
What did the audience look like? They just like the people that were just at a gun show and now they were Ted Nugent or something.
To a degree, and I swear this is kind of the sad thing about it. Quiet Riot was like the opening act, and after Quiet Riot finished, most of the crowd left.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah. So they were there. They were there to feel some noise, but not to do the wango
Since we're on
tango.
the older musician joke, I'll tell you. I don't know the guy's name, but I was at a comedy club about a month ago, and this is guy. He does like comedy about getting older. So like I guess most people who are getting older have to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He goes, "I just turned 38, and he goes, but I still rock. I go to Universal Amphitheater and see concerts there. But now I'm the scary old dude. I'm the guy who people are like rocking out with their friends, and they look and there's this guy by himself."
Right.
And he's like, yeah, and they're like, "Oh my God,"
Greg Barron, was that by any chance?
It might have been, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know a guy who's got a very similar.
And anyway, so he said he hit, but his joke, he led up to this, he goes, "Well, the other time I went to the Universal Amphitheater, and and he has I have like a studded belt, and I have like the keychain wallet, and I got this, and he goes, I got like the dog's collar thing and everything like that, and I got to the gate, and the guard said, 'I'm sorry, sir, you can't come in with that belt.' And the guy said, 'Oh, why? Is it a security risk?' And he goes, 'No, you're too old.'" Yeah.
That's Greg, I'm pretty sure. Greg Barron.
Yeah. I think it might have been who it was. Yeah. That was just so funny. That was just so on the mark.
Oh yeah. It's just like ooh.
Because even now, it's like I'm 38, and it's like I still play guitar and stuff like that. But it's like I go to this one like the Troubadour to watch a band, and I always I'm the guy who goes up in the rafters.
Oh yeah, and it hides out.
And there's like a few other old guys up there. Some of them are a little bit older than me. Like I'm all, man, that guy's maybe 42.
I do a lot of. I play like an online game called Unreal Tournament,
All right.
which is. Do you play?
I fucking love that.
Oh, it's a great game.
Oh,
I'm number 450 in the world.
Wow.
Which is no, not wow. That's sad. That's sad that I've invested enough time to beat like 80,000 kids. There are guys on there who are like, how old are you? And you tell them, and then they're like, "Oh my God!" And you're like, how old are you? 13. What are you doing, old man? Go ahead, ask me how old I am.
You are weak.
Go ahead, ask me how old I am. Yeah.
Hours have gone.
nothing.
Yes. Well, we're gonna close, but I want to get into
Close?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
That wasn't even 15 minutes yet.
I'm going to hit. I always been hitting people with this new theory in physics, and I always ask them what they think about it.
Okay.
Here is the theory.
I was on Jeopardy. I can do this,
Basically,
You were on Jeopardy?
Yeah, but we're closing. Shut
No,
up.
no,
Anyway.
we can go to Jeopardy.
No, that's fine.
We have time. We can go over a little bit. Here's the thing: the universe is infinite, right?
Okay.
So therefore, there's an infinite amount of possibilities.
Okay.
So therefore, at every moment, everywhere, there's enough room for the universe to recreate itself endlessly. Our solar system exists the way it is somewhere right now.
Oh, there's like a mirror image of our universe.
Right now, you and I are having this conversation at this moment somewhere else.
Except I have a tentacle coming out of my forehead.
Exactly. Or maybe you'll reach down and grab this can of Coke, whereas the seagull in another universe won't. And you go off on two separate paths. And you're constantly splitting into infinite copies of yourself.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Isn't that a Gwyneth Paltrow movie? Is that what this whole physics theory is based on? Sliding doors? Is that what's going on here?
Probably.
And because I used to be a comic book fan when I was a kid, and I don't know if you read DC Comics or not, but Earth 1, Earth 2.
Oh, yeah.
Basically rotating on opposite sides of the sun so they don't know each other because they're perfectly out of sync or something.
What was that part? Which particular heroes were on Earth 1 or Earth 2?
Earth 1 was like the Justice League of America, which is like Batman, Superman.
Earth 2
is the Justice Society of America.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm going through this. But it is the internet, so it's perfect. Hello, nerds!
The Society That's so funny because it's just a society. It was, I guess, what they called the 1940s.
Right, exactly.
Well, it's just a society.
Yes.
They wanted to make it proper for kids.
Yeah, that's right.
Then they can talk to Justice League, which is just bad. But
Bringing justice to everyone, but we're doing it in social ways. We're going to defeat Starman, but we're doing it by tea and crumpets.
yes, exactly. But then when I was a kid, I was like, Justice League? What the hell is League?
Right.
No, that's like a distance or something.
But you knew society better?
Yeah, because it's like high society. It's stupid, yeah.
Right. So there's like the
Well, what it was,
Sandman with a cape and a little top hat and a cane.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it was the
Take that,
1940s heroes.
Right.
And then they all just kind of died out, and they thought, well, how can we bring them back? But I forgot about Earth 1 and Earth 2. I was thinking more of Bizarro World.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, that's
yeah,
a very bad offshoot because Superman, Bizarro World, for those of you just tuning in, is like an alternate Earth, but everybody is sort of crystalline for one thing.
Right.
And me am talk bad. There's a lot of that going on. But they have like exact duplicates of us, like the Bizarro Lois Lane, Bizarro Jimmy Olsen.
And that's not to confuse it with the Mixoplitic world. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Mr. Mixoplix.
Yeah, Mr. Mixoplix. You can say it. Wow.
Well, no, I'm just making it up now.
Okay.
Actually, it's a bunch of letters. I can say it. If you're confident, you can get away with anything. Trust me on this, Alex Duffy. Trust me.
Confidence has gotten us to 78 shows. Wow.
Really? You've been doing this 78? That's a year and a half.
1978. No, actually, since 2002. Yeah, we're gonna have our big 100th show by the end of the year.
Oh, I want to be on that.
Yes.
I'll be in town. I'll come. Can I come?
Yeah, you can come. You can be.
That'd be cool.
We're trying to see if we can get Emo Phillips.
Oh, Emo's a great guy.
Yeah, and he lives in L.A. now.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's out of Chicago. Oh, cool.
Yeah. He usually moved here to be in a sitcom, but I guess he didn't be in the sitcom.
He actually gave me he was one of the producers of Meet the Parents. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Yeah.
And he gave me a copy of the original film.
Which he was in.
Yes,
Right.
and which was completely different than the Meet the Parents of Ben Stiller and
Right.
I don't know.
Robert De Niro was. Oh man, so much darker and actually so much funnier. I mean, people get really hurt. Like the mom doesn't. Like the girl got the volleyball in the eye. I think.
Right.
In Emo's or in the other movie, the fishing hook goes into the mom's eye and takes it out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's like blindness,
Nice.
suicide. Oh, it's hysterical.
Do you have a funny closing comment?
A funny closing comment.
And
Can I
we-
give shout-outs? Can I
You
give
can-
props to my
Can I
peeps?
give shout-outs?
Can I give shout-outs?
Yeah.
First of all, to Alt Comedy Stand-Up, ACS. That's a news group that I'm in that's full of comedians and comedy fans and trolls. Lots of trolls. Please, everyone stop talking to Chafee. Anyway, so to them and to, of course, my wife and my daughter, Crystal, stepdaughter, and family, friends, all that sort of thing. But mostly, I just want to give my big props, my big raise in the roof, sort of my props to Arnold Schwarzenegger because, good Lord, that man is going to be my governor soon, I think.
He would have been a good side. Yeah.
Oh, man, I hate that.
And again, the website.
Yes, don't forget to go by www.stevegelder.com. That's, if you spell that backwards, it's actually mockredlegevitz.www. So, that doesn't help anyone, I'm sure.
No, but it
You just
makes
confused
you
the
remember.
hell out of it.
That's right.
yeah.
SteveGelder.com. Look at the name that's on Alex's website right now. Put www on the beginning and .com at the end. And
Alex has a link, so
Wow.
you can,
Yeah, there you go.
I'll link
Oh,
it.
yeah, and
I
there's a
can
link up
explain
there.
things.
There's a link up there forever.
Oh, really?
All eternity.
Yeah, because the internet's going to be for eternity.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
all about eternity here on the internet.
Well, as long as I'm alive, let me put it that way. Which is kind of close to it. No, never mind.
Turn around. No,
But do you have a closing comment, thought? Something to make us laugh.
Oh, good Lord.
That kind of sums up your philosophy of the universe.
Well, I don't have a philosophy of the universe sum up. That's really funny. That's the problem. I got one that'll bring you to tears.
Okay.
But
okay. Well, let's hear that one. Now.
that's actually I don't. I was faking it. I was hoping you wouldn't go for it.
Damn it.
Getting back to the whole Saddam Hussein thing, please, people, we've got to get Saddam. He's the new Hitler. And the old one was bad enough, really. I mean, if you look, because he killed like 6 million Jews alone, I think.
Right.
And I was watching the History Channel, and I don't know if you know this, Hitler's mom, Jewish. What kind of a horrible bitch of a mom was that woman growing up? I mean, I disagreed with my mom from time to time. I never once looked across the breakfast table and went, all right, that's it, bitch. You, all your Lutheran friends, you're dead!
All of them.
That's right. Taking down all 53 of them. Lutherans are not that popular, really, in North Dakota, but...
There's about 3 million of them in the U.S. or something.
Lutherans? Yeah. The Mormons got them kicked.
Yeah.
Mormons are like the fastest growing church, I think, in the world.
Yeah, they're
Well, God must be on their side.
exponentially
God and
growing.
Joseph Smith, that's right.
Yes. Actually, Nauvoo's making a big comeback.
Nauvoo?
Nauvoo, the original, where the Mormons were originally, where they had the original temple.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was burned down. Joseph Smith was killed, and then Brigham Young took them all the way to Utah. But I'm not a Mormon. I'm just telling you.
Oh, no, I've got relatives. No, I understand. Yeah.
And then Nauvoo now has become a big mecca for so much so that the Mormons rebuilt the temple there.
Wow.
It's almost like rebuilding the temple in Jerusalem or something.
Right.
And then now they have like hotels and places to stay, and now it's like becoming like Utah.
There's a
too.
Marriott there.
Yeah.
See, I've worked like in Salt Lake City. I've got relatives who are out there. We've got like every branch of religion I think is in my family somewhere. Seventh-day Adventists and Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses. We get together for a family reunion. It's like holy war. But out in Salt Lake City, I was out there one time, like around Christmas time. My wife was like, "Pick up something for the kids. You know, try and get some gifts or something that are different." And they've got these shops out there that are Deseret gifts or whatever. It's all Mormon goods. And so I go in there. They've got Mormon action figures.
Really?
I'm picking these up for the nephews and stuff. It's like, I open it up Christmas morning. It's like, who's this? Well, that's Nephi. He's the son of Levi. He helped his people cross the desert in Moab. Do lasers come out of his eyes? No. If lasers came out of his eyes, they wouldn't have to leave now, would they?
They would be stuck in Utah.
Exactly. They'd have their choice of states.
You know, actually, I think that's a way you can tell, like, if a guy, not a woman, but a guy at work is perpetually single, is that they start bringing in things to be cute. I don't know why, like little action figures.
Oh, really?
I think you know that they're desperately lonely. But then I want to see one of them do it and bring in like a Mormon action figure. Because you don't know what to make of that. You'd be like, are they religious? Right. Do you think that they're cool? You know, because if they're doing little kitschy things like, hey, I'm kind of clever.
Right.
Girls like me, please. You know.
Oh, that's so sad.
But I want to see like the Mormon. I want to see the Mormon action figure. Just like there's
Get you one, Alex.
Next time I'm out there, I'm grabbing one and sending it to you guys. Yeah, it's so bizarre that I haven't worked in a cube for so long. I used to do that like years ago at an insurance company. I forget how that is, but you do get the people who like turn it into their home away from home, and they've got little overflowing ivy plants, and they've got like stuff going on.
Office space for you. So, an Office Space. Did you see the movie Office Space?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Steve, this is a classic. I got to tell you, I will not name the company to protect my wife. When my wife came back to work on Monday, over the weekend, they had made everybody's cube 20% smaller.
No!
Yes. Oh. Everybody's cube.
So people are just wheeling around to BAM!
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Because they're hiring some new employees, and they're like, well, instead of like getting into the building, they'll just make the cubes smaller.
I swear to you, they've done this. I live currently in Raleigh, North Carolina. They took one road that was like a 4-lane road. They did not widen it. They moved the stripes. It's now 6 lanes.
Wow.
It's just like, road expansion done. That's the next job, Chief.
We saved some money here, folks.
Oh,
no,
man.
Ryan the crowd. We saved some money here.
Yeah. It's
Actually, the North Carolina had more of one chill. Well, I say so. We saved some money here. And we have more of a Gents Hill, actually, North Carolina.
You're still in the Justice Society, I think. You're still back on that sort of thing. No, I've got like a lot of in-laws now who are very Southern and wonderful folks, but it's a... Go ahead and ask me something on now.
Okay, tell me, what do you think about our fine president?
That's pretty much it. That's every conversation.
Well, it has been a pleasure.
Oh, Alex, thanks. I enjoyed this very much. It did fly by, which is what you guys told me at the beginning of the show. We wanted to feel like it was only 10 minutes. So.
We wanted to feel like it was a conversation where we just laughed, and it was.
I feel like I just got here, really. I mean, this was good.
Warm fuzzies.
I know. Oh. You can tell I watched the show before. I pointed this out when I got here. I'm wearing blue, so my head doesn't just float with the whole black shirt thing.
I did the black shirt thing, and it was kind of odd and weird. I had really short hair. I had the Marlon Brando from Apocalypse Now thing. I was just kind of.
Oh, that's good.
Not good.
All righty then. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, Alex, thank you. I enjoyed it very much. And www.stevegelder.com.
Exactly. Folks,
I have T-shirts for sale.
You have to check that site out, folks. www.stevegelder.com. And now, we are going to say goodnight. It is July 8th, 2003. Good night.